gosh. Oh, Bills. Bills? Is that an animal?
I don't think that's a. Wait, is it?
It's the Buffalo
They have
Bills.
don't they have like a horse mascot?
It's a buffalo.
Oh, it's a buffalo. Oh, it's a buffalo.
Welcome back to Nick and Rob Homer Hour, and that is now what is that? Tyler's got one, I got one, and Rob, I have a sinking feeling that you're going to make the blooper reel, so you'll be tied with us.
Yeah, drop the mic. So that'll work right as we go live. But it's good to be back in the beautiful Texas heat. I missed it so much. So yeah, let's get excited to talk some football.
Yeah. So where were you visiting one more time?
So I was up in the Northeast. My wife and I went up to the Northeast for about a week and a half. My dad got married in Rhode Island, so we got to spend time with my family. And then we went up to the Finger Lakes up in New York and had a relaxing vacation with her side of the family. So good to see everybody.
Cool. But I'll tell you one thing. I am glad you're back. Okay. Because it was a little bit of chaos, but me and Tyler pulled it off to the best of our ability. I hope we did not disappoint you too much, Rob.
Oh, it was a great episode. Tyler did fantastic. I look forward to having him back on again soon. If not on a pod, definitely on a live stream. I mean, the only thing, like I poked fun at you guys on X4, is, I go away 1 week, you take away a Super Bowl from Tom Brady.
Yeah, no. And the big lesson with that is if you go on vacation one more time, I'm taking more Super Bowls away from Tom Brady. That's going to be the game plan.
Fair enough.
All right, so let's kick it off with some Eastside news.
This is Eastside News.
All right. So, yeah, we've got some Eastside news to hit up. At this point in time, everyone's played a preseason game. Across the board, for the most part, rookies looked really well in week 1, which hopefully they should because they were mostly up against second and third stringers. So if they want a future in the league, it's good to start off strong. Except for a certain high-profile rookie from the University of Texas in Miami. Quinn Ewers did not have a good time. He lost 2 fumbles. Generally was chased around, run around, did not look good under pressure, which, I love Quinn Ewers. He can get some real happy feet under pressure. Happened all the time at the University of Texas. But also, I honestly can tell you he was behind a worse offensive line in this game for the Dolphins than he was last season for the Longhorns. So
I was going to say that actually kind of shocks me. Now, Quinn Ewers, though, he had a slow start to college football, though, right? So maybe it's just going through the same thing. It's going to be a slow start, and then he's going to pick it up because he does have an NFL arm. I see it in him, but I don't know if it's got what it takes.
Yeah, he's got an NFL arm. He's got an NFL mind, and he's gutsy. But he's an overthinker, and you can see it happening in real time sometimes, and it's just so frustrating because he's got all the talent in the world. Granted, he's in Miami. He's with Mike McDaniels. He's in a great situation, thanks to being on their same roster as Tua, to have to start some serious games this year. So he's going to have to really pick it up. But at the same time, also you'd think, heralded quarterback, he should make the roster. But if this next week he struggles again, his roster spot might be in danger because he was a 6th-round pick. It's not like he was a 2nd or 3rd-round pick. They're not tied to him. He's got to earn his spot at least on the practice squad. I think he makes the roster. His only other real competition is Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson's going to be really distracted down in Miami with extracurriculars. So I expect Quinn to make the team.
Zach Wilson, is he known for being a partier? I guess I missed that.
So when it came out when he was with the Jets, he's known for wanting to and sleeping with his teammates' mothers and friends' mothers. Sorry, his mother's friends. Not necessarily his teammates' mothers, but probably. but his mother's friends is definitely what he's been known to do. So he likes the older women. He likes to go cougar hunting, and now he's in Miami.
So I guess all the players got to keep their moms away from South Beach while Zach Wilson's in there. Stay away from him.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I did want to bring up for the Dolphins, and this is fantasy relevant, Alexander Mattison is out for the season with a neck injury. He suffered it in Chicago during that preseason game. He went down pretty hard. He broke his neck, and he's already had surgery. But he's out for the year. But again, anytime there's an injury to the head or the neck, football is the secondary concern or the tertiary concern. The big concern is quality of life. And so hopefully he'll be doing well. He'll come out of this okay, and he'll be good to go. But also, the Dolphins are stacked at running back. So the Dolphins are going to be just fine. Honestly, Madison was going to probably struggle to make the roster because you still got Devon Achane over there. You've got Jalen Wright, who probably sadly benefits the most from this injury. And then you've got Ollie Gordon, who's a rookie, but he had a really good college career. And he's someone that I would imagine was never in danger of not sticking around because he would have at least ended up on the practice squad. So that's the Miami news. Over in Buffalo, the only thing I'm going to touch on Buffalo, because we're going to talk Hard Knocks in a little bit, is pretty much the big news is James Cook. He wants his money, and he wants it now. He's holding in while holding out. He's showing up, being a distraction, and he's not practicing. He's not playing. He's not doing anything until he gets paid besides standing there on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's really weird with James Cook that I can't figure out right now because I swear, and we'll get into it a little bit more when we talk about Hard Knocks, but I'm seeing him out there and he was taking reps, but I understood that he was in a hold-up. So I'm a little confused by his whole situation. I guess the first week he wasn't, and then now he's in the hold-in?
He is, and apparently for some reason McDermott thought he was going to play in the first preseason game. Why? Even if he wasn't in a hold-out, hold-in, why? No starter should be playing the first preseason game. That's for your rookies and your backups. Starters come in week 3, week 4, week 3 of the preseason. Sorry, there's only 3 now.
Yeah, and it's really strange because I mean, maybe with the Josh Allen contract, the Bills are in some cap hell that I'm just not seeing, but I didn't think they were actually in that much of a salary cap, and being a win now team, well, why aren't they paying him?
Because he's a running back, and even though Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry have shown running backs have life, James Cook hasn't proven he's at that level yet. He's good. He's not that good, so they can just draft another one. I think they need to pay him because the window for the Bills is closed.
Yeah.
So you should pay him.
And I did just check their cap space. Apparently, they're negative 6,000 right now. So maybe they are in a little bit of cap hell, but I think you can easily cut contracts and move that money around because in my mind, I mean, this is it. This is a Super Bowl now team. So you've got to running back is an important position, and I think it's starting to be realized now with Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry doing well. James Cook's one of those guys that could actually perform and play really well and improve a team. I don't know, get that man his money. Just get it over with. And then maybe you could trade him later when the cap becomes a serious problem.
For sure. The Chiefs are more vulnerable than they've ever been. The Bills should still win this division running away. So that means that they've got a top 3. They should have a top 3 seed locked up. Should be seriously pushing to have that bye. Get yourself a good running back, signed and happy and ready to run for a title.
Last question. I understand if you don't know it. Is he franchise tagged?
No.
He's not. Okay, well, there's a solution to that.
Well,
Unless
hang on. I was too confident there.
Yeah. This is where the producers come in right here.
All right. Oh, I'm typing on the wrong keyboard. There's 2 keyboards here. There we go. James Cook franchise tag. Oh, he's not eligible yet. He'd be eligible in 2026. So
Gotcha. Okay.
he's still got time. Like he's still got this year and next year on his rookie deal. He's being smart by trying to get it now instead of risking injury. He's proven he's worth a raise, but he's not worth Derrick Henry money. He's not worth Saquon Barkley money. He wants $15 million a year. I don't know. I think they should settle for $10 million a year for 3 years.
Yeah,
like tear up his current contract, give him a 3-year, $10 million fully guaranteed. Call the Rams, figure out how to handle the cap.
His agents are really smart because they know when to bite. They know it's win now. So why not try to get away with this hold in right now? So I think it's actually a genius move. Same thing. Ezekiel Elliott did it to the Cowboys. He had 2 years left on his rookie deal, and then he said, actually, I'm going to sit out on that one and force the Cowboys to be in a bind because they wanted to win now. So good move on his agent's part. I think that's really smart, but we'll see if the Bills are going to pay off on it.
Yeah, we will, because, I mean, they're not going to trade him. So,
no.
At this point, they got to do something. Things with the Jets have been fairly quiet. The biggest news has been how old is Alan Lazard? I feel like he's been in the league for 30 years. But they signed him in the offseason to a 4-year, $44 million deal. Clearly, they want him to be number 2 for Justin Fields behind Garrett Wilson. I don't know why. Maybe just he's a solid possession guy that I don't know. It's the Jets. They don't do anything right ever. But he's got a shoulder injury, so he's been hurting. And because he is technically older, let's see how old he actually is. That could be a risk. Like the Jets gave him a lot more money than I think any other team would.
Yeah, it feels like if the quarterback's not Aaron Rodgers, Lazard doesn't do too hot. It seems like that's his little connection there is Aaron Rodgers, and this is a leftover from the Aaron Rodgers regime of the Jets. I'm a little shocked that they have him in as the number 2 wide receiver. He's good.
Throw this out there real quick. If you had to guess off the top of your head how old Alan Lazard was, what would you say?
I would guess 32.
All right. I would have guessed 35 or 36. He's 29.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry,
everyone. We let you down there. Yeah, we thought he was. I feel like he's been in the league forever.
Yep. Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Hopefully he gets better. Because there's no depth at wide receiver for the Jets right now. They have Garrett Wilson, and now teams like if week 1 was today, whoever's playing the Jets could like triple team Garrett Wilson and pretty much say, Jets, run and beat us with the run or lose. Like that's it. So
yeah, and that's kind of your secret team that seems sounds like they're in some trouble this year.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Jets fan at all, but I'm rooting for Justin Fields. I think he's been done dirty first by really bad coaching with the Bills and then by Russell Wilson. So, I'm rooting for him to have some success also because Garrett Wilson is on my dynasty team. And so Justin Fields is doing good. Garrett Wilson's probably doing good.
Yeah, and I think Justin Fields is one of those few wide receivers. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Garrett Wilson will get whatever he needs to get done. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. He kind of reminds me of Terry McLaurin's going through for Washington. He's putting up with the bad quarterback, and he's still putting out decent numbers. Garrett Wilson's that good where he just doesn't need a superstar quarterback. So he'll get you points. Don't worry.
He does. And also Terry McLaurin, if you, again, just come to New England, we'll give the Commanders a 2nd-round pick. Just come on over. Come on.
Oh, man, he is campaigning hard for Terry McLaurin, but it's a good set. It would be a good setup, and New England definitely needs it, but I bet you the Commanders are going to end up paying him. for sure. I mean, talk about win now team right now.
All right, and then now the New England Patriots. Oh, the excitement continues to build for my team. I'm absolutely loving it. Travion Henderson kicked the game off with a bang, running it all the way back. Granted, I don't think the Panthers knew that they were supposed to play, but the bigger excitement was just the pure speed that he had, bringing that game changing. And then, he had a few runs and several good catches in the game. So there's a lot of excitement there.
Yeah, he looked really good. You showed me that play, and the first thing I was like, whoa, that is good. That's real fast. And then I watched it again. I'm like, geez, what is going on with the Commanders? What was that? No one.
They were in awe. They were in awe.
It's is preseason football. That's why it's here. It takes a while to get to game speed. So I guess they were struggling on that end, and they're probably backups too on top of it. But
yeah,
he looked good. I really did like Trayvon Henderson. He looks like he's going to be a stud for New England for sure.
Yeah, and then the other rookie that was fantastic was our first guy drafted, Will Campbell. He had a really good game. He really did. No pressures in the game on 8 pass blocking snaps. Small sample size, but still. And an 85.4 score from Pro Football Focus. So really good debut. Again, should have been good. It was a small sample size. But, if he came out and he had really struggled, if he had given up a sack, he'd given up a couple pressures, I think we'd be looking at it differently.
Yeah.
Drama in New England, though. The drama in New England, because there is some drama.
It's not just the Cowboys.
Stephon Diggs.
Oh, of course.
He was expected to play a little bit in the game. Not a lot, but a little bit. But he was held out, and when asked, Mike Vrabel said, coach's decision. Now, shouldn't be a big deal, except for during the joint practice with the Commanders on Friday, so their last joint practice, he showed up 45 minutes late. So, Come on, dude. You're in New England. Get with the program, or we'll bring in Terry McLaurin.
Vrabel will not put up with that for too long. If he ends up doing this kind of stuff, they're going to trade him away. Get ready for it. And they won't get much.
Cut him.
The what?
They'll just cut him. They won't even trade him. They'll just send a message.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked by that if they end up doing it. I mean, they're kind of in a rebuilding year anyway, kind of, sort of.
We're still rebuilding. We're hopeful. Like I said, if we're competing for the 6th or 7th seed in the playoffs, I'm stoked. But we're trending up.
I saw a funny video with Drake May where someone handed him a Mac Jones jersey, and it was a number 10, and he took it. He was about to sign it, then he was like, "Oh," and then dropped it on the ground. I thought that was actually really funny.
It's not him.
Yeah, he was like, "Nope, I ain't signing that. I don't know what this is." And I'm sure New England fans like that kind of humor.
Oh yeah, that humor's good. So that's the AFC East. What's going on in the NFC East?
Well, I'm going to start it off early with the Dallas Cowboys. So Dak Prescott, he was caught making a bold prediction to the upcoming season, entering the 10th NFL season. Prescott reflected on the preseason experience and confidently predicted a deep playoff run for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm glad he has that kind of confidence because I watched that preseason game and I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's because – oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he called a shot for 2 teams.
Yeah. I think he's going to be saying it's going to be me and not Joe Milton because Joe Milton did not have that great of a performance out there. That man, he looks really good. I see why he looks like a great quarterback. They're seeing that big arm and they're loving it. And he did have a good pocket presence. Here's my little advice for Joe Milton. If it's a 5-yard pass, you don't need to fire it 100 miles an hour to the wide receiver. Sometimes put a little touch on it and that'll do you some good. And ultimately, when it comes to any of the quarterbacks in the NFL. The biggest thing is not the big pass or the short pass. It's the 15 to 20 yard routes that you got to be able to hit. And I just don't see he doesn't seem to have much accuracy over there. Now, he had a good game though with the New England against the Bills, right?
Yeah, he's got potential. It's just he's got to, like you said, he's got to learn and develop those NFL throws.
For sure. And I think he can in the long run, but right now he just looks way too seasoned, and we're in scrambling and backup hell right now because we're already freaking out. It was going to be one or two things. He throws a deep pass, ends up connecting, and all the Cowboy fans are going to be saying, bench Dak, put in Milton. Or he plays like this, and now we're freaking out. We don't have a backup. Where'd our Cooper Rush go? It's done.
Well, but you guys still have Will Grier. And yeah, it's Will Grier, but he's what? Year 3 in the offense now? Year 4? He's been around a while. So that's good. I know it's a new coach, but it's a Jerry Jones coach. I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones said, this is the offense you're running. Run this.
Pretty much. And that was another thing, dude. Brian Shoddy, as we call him over here in Dallas, apparently. The offensive, who is also the offensive coordinator, but head coach, he's the play caller, right? Said that penalties won't be acceptable heading into the regular season, and this is the biggest fear that I have with him. I am so scared he's going to lose this locker room. I'm terrified.
Is he going to pause the games and make his team run laps if there's a penalty?
What is Shoddy going to do? That's a great question. I don't know what he's going to do. It's not him. It's the Jerry's team, and they know that. You go to Jerry Jones if you have any sort of problem. So this is what's wrong with our franchise, this kind of stuff right here. But I didn't like it. I didn't think we looked crisp. I didn't think we looked clean at all in preseason. And again, it is preseason, but compare that to a Sean McVay run staff with the Rams. It looked pretty bad. I was kind of putting my head down going, oh my God, what are we doing? But it's the first preseason game. Keep that optimism, Nick. It's somewhere in there. I'm going to try to keep it going into the season.
Yeah. Any updates on Micah versus Jerry in the battle of our times?
Well, it's week 1 in the preseason. So I think the biggest thing with the week 1 is I predicted after week 2, the contract should get signed. It doesn't look like much movement has happened. We talked a little bit about it on the show last week. And Jerry does seem to be confident that he's going to end up signing it, but he's playing hardball right now, doing Jerry Jones things, making headlines. But he's essentially still saying, fans, rest assured, everything will be fine. We're going to get him. He's going to end up getting whatever contract he wants. It's probably going to be $200 million, put us in cap hell. And Jerry, it says deadlines make great deals, but deadlines have repeatedly hurt us with CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott, Zach Martin, and now then Dak Prescott, and now Micah Parsons. We pay him high.
So yeah, I was going to say deadlines make great deals for those negotiating against Jerry Jones.
Every single time they end up getting whatever the top tier money is every single time. And instead of signing him early, like he should, he plays this game. He also said he still hasn't reached out to the agent yet. Great negotiating. Love that stuff. Let's keep that going. And then apparently we had a rookie tight end that did well, but I'm still mad about the Micah Parsons.
Right. No, yeah, that's big news.
Yeah, it's so irritating. I'm just waiting for this story to end, and I think it will in week 1. But it's becoming a head in the wall story, and because I predicted it way back when that this is going to happen last year when we knew his contract was going to be up, and we're experiencing it again. So what's the definition of insanity, right? Cowboy fans.
Micah is still practicing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's practicing. I think he's playing in. There was a story that actually did come out. Micah was off the field, and so is Jerry. And Jerry's always present during these training camps, but he was not present this time. So maybe they were talking behind the scenes about a contract, and they're going to try to get it worked out, but it's it's driving me nuts. I don't know, like I'm getting tired of it and I'm waiting for it to end. But outside of that, we also have the New York Jets, who Jackson Dart looked really good, and the stories are out that he might be the steal of the draft. And if you look at his stats back in college, man, that guy can cook, and he's got legs. He's deadly accurate. Seems to be a smart decision maker. It took him a while.
SEC football.
The what?
He played SEC football, and honestly, like the best way to be ready for the NFL is to play in the SEC or the Big Ten. Or for Bill Belichick this year.
Yeah, and you're essentially I love that point because SEC, I mean, you're essentially playing against pro football athletes. I mean, they're all getting NIL deals, and most of them end up making it throughout the NFL anyway. So it looks like he's cooking. It's preseason football. Obviously, the defenses aren't too complicated right now, but it seems like he's got a good head and shoulder and playing well. And that'd be a big turnaround for the Jets or Giants if that ends up working out for him.
Yeah, honestly, I'm rooting for the Giants to have some sort of function. We'll be talking about their former starter in just a couple minutes, but I don't want to see the Giants do well, but a functional New York Giants team is good for the NFL.
Yeah, it's like a weird quasi relationship with them because you cheer for Bill Belichick and Bill Belichick was the next Giants, so you have this little small attachment. They're in the NFC, so they don't bother you as much, right?
Yeah, they've only truly bothered me 2 times in my life, and they stabbed me through the heart both times.
Yeah, and Eli Manning will go to the Hall of Fame for that.
Because of that crap.
Only because of that.
They shouldn't let him be wearing a football jersey. They should require him to wear a quarter zip in his bust.
Oh, I like that idea. You know what? Knowing how he likes bits, now that he's out of the season, he wasn't like that before, but once he's out of the season, he's joking it up with Peyton Manning. He might sign off on it. He might actually sign off on that.
Yeah.
The Giants then add $3 million incentives to Dexter Lawrence's 2025 contract. So don't know how that made a news story. It seems pretty self-explanatory on that one, but it did. And again, they're going through some offensive line trouble with injuries, which is going to be a big problem with them because that was their issue last year. They have a lot of veteran wide offensive linemen, and experiencing injuries this early is not going to be a good sign for them going forward. But that's about all I got for the Giants. And moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles, it looks like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts returned to practice in a positive injury update. So A.J. Brown's back. Looks like he's playing really well. And he's connecting right now with Jalen Hurts, so that's working out for him. It's the latest on 6 heated position battles following Eagles preseason opener after the first preseason game. Competition at cornerback, linebacker, and wide receiver. Essentially, their defense is just they lost a little on their secondary, so they're just looking for positions. They're trying to put a positive spin on it, but it sounds to me they don't have enough starting roles in the secondary, and they're trying to get it figured out. Should be fine for the Eagles because they had the number 1 defensive line in the league last year. So I would imagine secondaries always have to choose which one would I rather have. Defensive line over the secondary. You get behind the line of scrimmage, you end up tackling the quarterback or tackling the running back before they even get to the line of scrimmage. You're in much better shape, and every once in a while, big plays are going to happen with the bad secondary. So I wouldn't freak out if I was the Eagles on that, but looks like they're struggling in the secondary position. Nick Sirianni for the game-like intensity in training camp and practices. So he's trying to get them to boost it up and get it going. Rob, as a fan of teams that have won multiple Super Bowls and a couple of them back-to-back, right? I got to imagine it's really hard to get a team up and going and keep that motivation in the beginning of the season after winning the Super Bowl to try to pull it off. Do you think it's going to be a struggle for the Eagles?
Yeah, it depends on the buy-in from Sirianni. Did he wipe all those demons away about nearly being fired with that Super Bowl? for New England, for the most part, that was never really an issue. I mean, the year after that first one, we went 9-7. We didn't make the playoffs. Everyone's still like, "Holy crap, we won a Super Bowl." We're the New England Patriots. A New England team, sports team, just won their first championship since the '80s. Like, no one cared.
Yeah.
But then, when they won their third one, after they won their second one, they came out and they ran up. I think it's still the longest win streak total from one season to the next. I think it hit like almost 20 games, maybe a little bit more of consecutive wins. They were all bought in. It was all about, but also even like back then, Brady wasn't Brady. He was still really a game manager, and we didn't have a ton of stars. We had Corey Dillon. We had guys, Teddy Bruschi. So it was just one of those things where Willie McGinnis, guys that just really wanted to get in the dirt, hit some people, hit them harder than the other team could hit them, and win some games. So it was a full-on cultural buy-in. So we'll see if Sirianni can do that. I don't know if he's that coach since he was this close to a pink slip mid-season last year. But we'll see. I'm rooting for him to do well because I don't ever want someone to do bad unless they're like, the Chiefs or the Jets or
Chiefs and Jets.
Anyone playing the Patriots. But
yeah. I struggle with Nick Sirianni. He did a wonderful job of getting the team turned around and actually winning the Super Bowl. It was amazing how he pulled that off because if you remember, it wasn't even just midseason last year. The year before, heading into the playoffs, that team totally quit on him. They quit on him. I didn't even think they were going to end up doing anything last year because of it. I thought, I guess that's it. They're giving up on their coach and they kept him. I'm a little shocked by that. So I wonder if they're going to have a downgrade. But the thing is, they've got such a good offensive line. They've got such a good defensive line which I think are the most important things on football. And Jalen Hurts is a solid quarterback. If you get those three areas taken care of, everything else just kind of fixes itself. So I don't see how they're going to have a really bad season. But, repeat championship is asking a lot for this team.
Yeah, repeat championships asking a lot for anybody. I would say, in our lifetimes, it's the Chiefs have done it, the Patriots have done it, and the Cowboys have done it
in the 90s. Yeah.
They got back to back. In our lifetimes. Barry Switzer was gifted a title, but
that was Jimmy's team. We all know it.
Right. Just like when John Gruden won his lone Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, that was Tony Dungy's team.
Right. Yeah.
So,
same exact thing.
It's how that works. But yeah, three all-time dynasties that have done it, but that's it out of 32 teams in how many years? So it's very hard. I don't think the Eagles are going to do it. And if they see injuries to Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley, you could see them all of a sudden battling to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think they will. They've got so much talent; they'll be fine. The last note that I have for the Eagles is Quinyon Mitchell was very entertaining during the preseason, being mic'd up. He was just fun to watch, explaining coverage and things like that. So much enjoy to watch and very fun for the fans. So we move on to the Washington Commanders, and the Commanders unveiled the Super Bowl era uniforms. So that's back when they were the Washington.
Right.
Are we allowed to say it? The other team. But it's really interesting because they're going to harpen back to that. But then,
the colors are the colors. That's fine. I've seen a lot of people really losing it on X because that old logo is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Tough. It should be gone. It's correctly gone, but the colors can still come back, and that's fine. They have great colors for their uniforms. Classic.
Yeah.
People just gotta get used to the new name.
Yeah. Dan Quinn holds team accountable after a loss, announces 8 roster moves after a preseason loss. He's trying to take control of this thing. he's definitely not letting the same thing that happened to Nick Sirianni 2 years ago happen. He is,
Yeah.
I am the commander of the ship, which I think is really good. I think Dan Quinn is an underrated coach with a decent football team. He's not my number one coach, obviously, but I definitely think he's a top 10 coach. And
You're jealous. You miss him. You want him.
well, I still debate whether I would have wanted him over McCarthy. Now, I know I'm going to really pee off a lot of Cowboy fans, but Cowboy fans that didn't like McCarthy didn't make sense to me. I think McCarthy was actually a really good coach who did the best he could with the situation he was dealt.
What's the last? What other coach has been hired? Fired with a record as good as him.
It blows my mind, and it's not just the Cowboy fans. The NFL does not like Mike McCarthy, and I don't get it. I'm like, he's not that bad.
It's because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers ruined him. He bitched about him years ago.
What a lot of Cowboy fans seem to forget, because we got such terrible short-term history, and I know this is about Dan Quinn, but I'm going into it because it's just making me riled up. But Mike McCarthy took a team that went 8-8-8, and then went, we had one good season with 2 good seasons with Jason Garrett, but outside of that, they were losing seasons. And then we went from a 12-5 team, 12-5 team, 12-5 team. So let me ask you this, Cowboy fans. You don't think it's a general manager. We all agree with that. We don't like our general manager. You don't think it's the quarterback, because you don't like the quarterback anymore. Who is responsible for going 3 years in a row, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5? I'm like, are we not going to give them a little credit?
They should. They should.
That's 3 years in a row. That's not easy, Sorry.
Yeah.
My quick opinion on him. But that being said, Dan Quinn, though, was solid. And I think he was a good coach even with the Atlanta Falcons. So what he's doing right now, he's got good staff with him. The defense is going to be really good. And then, you got Coach Bro taking care of the offense over there on the offensive side. So it's a good setup. You got a great quarterback over there. I think he's in a perfect position. And he waited for an opportunity to take a job like this because it's already working out for him. And I think it's going to work out in the future, including this year.
Yeah, I think so. The Commanders should win the division, I think, because I expect the Eagles to take a little step back. But if Cowboys, Commanders, or Eagles, any of them could win the division. If you told me right now any of them win the division, I say, okay.
If law of history,
Giants did it, I say Jackson Dart's going straight to Canton right now.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If they somehow pull it off, I mean, that franchise is a mess right now. So for them to pull it off would be huge. If history repeats itself again, we do know it will not be the Philadelphia Eagles, because I think we're on 15 years straight. 16 is something crazy right now with the NFC East has not had a repeated division winner. And it's an entertaining division, to say the least, because of that.
It's the best division in football.
Yeah, well, Super Bowl wise and things like that too. I mean, they're all very big historic franchises for sure, and they've won a lot, and it's definitely the most entertaining too. It definitely helps to have the Dallas Cowboys in on it for the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Commanders also lost 2-time Super Bowl champion Duke Riley to a torn ACL as well. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer, but I think they'll be fine. They'll figure it out. But good luck, Duke. We're rooting on you.
I mean, that's when it comes to football, especially in the preseason, it's who survives the preseason. Bodies got to get fully up to speed. They got to get going. I like the Commanders making some cuts, making some roster changes. One of the biggest things, we'll reference back to this in Hard Knocks, I think the NFL screwed up the preseason, is not requiring any cuts right until the end. I get why the Players Association fought for that, but at the same time, I enjoyed the staggered cut system. I think a lot of fans did as well. And I think some players honestly would have, towards the bottom of the roster, prefer that too, because it gave them a chance to latch on elsewhere instead of battling everybody all at once.
Yeah, and we'll talk about how that actually affects Hard Knocks too. You made a really good point over text message, and I definitely want you to bring that point out because I do agree with you on that point that you're about to make. I got one question for you before we end Eastside News. So, what is your thought? You're a coach going into it. So, for instance, the Bengals started their starters, and mainly because the Bengals are having terrible starts to the season, and they know that. So, they're trying something new to try to get it going. Would you want your starters to play in the preseason game, get a little warm up, or are you against that and just wait till the week one and try to get it cooking later?
Well, here's what sucks about football. If they go out there and they play, like me personally, if I was a head coach, I think they get the most out of it with the joint practices.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where they really get the most value. But I would still, game lights are game lights. I'd love like first preseason game, get them all out there for 2 series.
Mm.
All right. Or 1 if they actually can drive down and score, definitely on defense, play a couple series, just a couple though.
Yeah.
Double that production in week 2, play the first half in the third game, bounce out and let the guys fighting for the roster play the second half. In an ideal world, that's how you do it. The problem is you look at these quarterbacks, you look at these stud wide receivers, these stud left tackles making 15, 20, 30, 40 plus million a year. One of them goes down because of a shitty missed block or a weird turf spot that gets caught and their season's over. And then everyone's descending on the coaching staff for being idiots. They weren't idiots. They were getting the team ready to play, and it's football. Peyton Manning missed pretty much a whole season. Tom Brady missed pretty much a whole season. Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes gets hurt. Like, it happens.
Yeah. And I think it's a really good point, too, because if they get injured in week 1 versus preseason, what's the difference? And so you might as well go ahead and get them out there for a couple reps. I like the slow escalation. I think that's a really good idea that a lot of teams should implement.
And I will say, I'd love to, I need to actually look at some stats, but I would love to see some stats for season ending injuries from like, say, the 90s versus now. Like the 90s, early 2000s, they were doing 2-a-day padded practices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand I've had 5 concussions in my life. I grew up playing hockey and, it happens. I understand from the player safety perspective, less hits for that keeps the head going, but also you need those physical reps to get your body up to speed. So it's a tough battle. So I try to hold me to actually doing some research, and because I'm sure the research is out there and looking at not concussions, so we know the concussion numbers have to be better. But all those other injuries and kind of comparing what it looked like in the 90s versus now. Because they're getting hit a lot less, they're playing a lot less, they're in shorts a lot more than they are in pads. I think that's got a factor for a lot of these injuries, especially like we're gonna see a ton of injuries in week 1 and week 2 of the regular season.
It seems that happening's definitely picking up more, and there's arguments that too much muscle, too much speed, they've gotten bigger and faster too. So there's that.
There's a lot to be said for that. Like, you can look at switch sports. Look at baseball. Yeah, they get their hangnails that hold them out, but also they've gone from like sitting around drinking beer in the off season to working out like crazy, and a non-contact sport sees tons of injuries in the ligaments.
It is a serious problem over there, and I hope it gets fixed because we want our star players definitely to play. So, Rob, want to see what's happening with the Colts?
What's going on with the Colts?
What's going on with the Colts? What's going on with the Colts? What's going on with the Colts? Is it go blue? Let's ride. Or lucky shoe? Who
Yes, it's
Colts,
our
go.
segment. What's going on with the Colts? No. I don't think it's go Colts go. We're trying to figure it out right now. Okay,
Figure
we're
it
trying
out.
to. But where we if you watched our previous shows, we randomly drew this team, the Indianapolis Colts, and out of fear of landing on the Kansas City Chiefs, and out of fear for me landing on the Houston Texans, we stuck with it. We're going to stick with the Colts. We had veto power. We ended up just sticking with our randomly selected team. So, Rob, what's going on with the Colts?
What's going on with the Colts? Well, the big news coming out of the first preseason game was Anthony Richardson actually looked functional in his first few throws, but then he admitted it afterwards. He misread a rush, moved the wrong way. He got sacked. No big deal, except then he looked down, and his pinky on his throwing hand was pointing the wrong direction. They reset it on the sideline, but because it was a preseason game, he didn't go back in.
That's at least 4 weeks.
Yeah, opened
Right.
the door for Daniel Jones to underwhelm big
Mhm.
time. Daniel Jones, the door opened. He could have just grabbed the team right there. His stats were I don't even think he completed 50% of his passes. It was bad. It probably had the Colts wishing they didn't let Sam Ellinger go off to the Broncos. So the door is still wide open. News out of the Colts today is Daniel Jones is going to get the start, play a little bit, but then Anthony Richardson is going to get the bulk of the playing time coming into this for this next game, which is good. Richardson needs it. He's got to show up. He's got to show out, and it's a big game playing the Packers. So even playing the Packers backups and doing well will help him out because Daniel Jones is probably going to suck again. So
That's a big injury, though. A pinky? The pinky going the wrong way?
yeah, they fixed it. They popped it. The swelling's down.
Wow. I don't know, man. And you're gonna get him in next week? Okay.
He hasn't really missed any practice or anything. I think if he was like the starter and it was like a game that had meaning, I think he would have been back in.
Gotcha.
But
I mean, I am blown away that they're actually even putting him in. I'd let him sit for a couple more weeks. I mean, he is the projected starter after all, unless they really like Daniel.
not sure yet. But I don't at this point. I think Daniel Jones isn't giving them any reason to start Daniel Jones.
Mm.
So I think Anthony Richardson, barring some real poor play, I think should open. As of right now, I'm expecting him to be the week 1 starter.
I'm projecting this is going to be a tough team to follow.
Yeah, I mean, we did the schedule game. Like I think we both found 4 or 5 wins, and we're like, and they could win 2. So, the other news that I saw coming out of it was Alec Pierce, who's honestly on another team with a competent quarterback, could be putting up some serious numbers. He's a very good receiver.
Yeah.
He had a groin injury, but apparently it's not serious. So that's good because he doesn't want to lose his spot.
That's one thing about preseason football or training camp. All the news reports are about fiddling injuries that just affect the player for a week or two. I think a lot of them are just trying to sit out for camp, but could be a serious injury, but it's hard to tell with these preseason injuries.
Right. And especially for someone like Pierce, he's a solid receiver, but A.D. Mitchell, lifetime Longhorn, he struggled, had an underwhelming rookie season last year, but he's been blowing everyone away at camp. So, Pierce wants to be able to keep his spot, keep his targets, and Mitchell's gunning for him. So he needs to be able to get on that field.
Yeah, I think so too. And he is a good wide receiver, like you said earlier, too. So I think he needs if it's not the Colts, he needs to find another place where he can play, or at least a quarterback, for sure.
Do you have anything else on the Colts?
I really didn't have that much. I mean, it was mainly the Anthony Richardson news, but then you reported it, which is good because I think you got a little bit more detail than I did. So I actually don't have much going on with the Colts right now. I think we're just going in for a very tough year with this.
We are, but at the same time, I'm happy that at least one of our three main teams that we're covering, obviously the Pats have Drake May locked in. Obviously, the Cowboys have not Joe Milton, Dak Prescott locked in as their starting quarterback. So it's fun that there is a team with a legit quarterback battle going on for us to talk about. Hopefully, I want to see Daniel Jones ball out just so we can have a real competition going into the second half of camp here.
Yeah, and I think when you tweeted some news about Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones possibly taking over the starting job, or I sent you a GIF with the trash can races because I think this is all it is. It doesn't really matter. The rookie though could pull it off, so we'll see what he does. I heard he's not doing too hot in training camp.
Yeah, he started off hot, and then it's been kind of quiet. So I think it's down to a two-person race. I think that everyone was excited about Riley Leonard to start, and now it's like, no, he's a rookie, and Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. He's still better than Riley Leonard.
Yeah, right now he is. Absolutely, and he's got a lot of – Daniel Jones actually has a lot of talent. It's just a matter of him. Does he have the motivation to actually learn and get better?
Does he need to be motivated? If I had 60-something million in my bank account, I don't think I'd mind holding a clipboard and not being hit.
I've got so many problems with Daniel Jones, man. I've got so many problems with him because, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what we're supposed to be thinking. But if you are a star quarterback or was
you want to play.
You want to play. Yeah.
I say that I would want to play.
I like talking about it on the sideline. I'd probably actually hold the clipboard, but that's why I'm not there, right? Because I don't have the motivation to do what they do out on that field.
We're better talking about it.
Right. Yeah. So much better than that than playing it for sure. I'd be scared if I saw a 400-pound lineman chasing me. I don't think I can handle that really well. I'm a wimp, So that is what's going on with the Colts. And now we're going to be breaking down some hard knocks. That is the uncopyrighted version of the Hard Knocks music I could play, okay? But it was just as exciting, almost as exciting. But Hard Knocks, man, they hit the ball out of the park with their music. It's so good.
The music, the narration. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the narration. I love it. I will say, though, this season, I got to tell you, that was one of the worst introductions I've ever seen. You had Josh Allen out there getting interviewed, and they were talking about weddings, and
he did just get married to Haley Steinfeld, and he's in love, man.
Okay, and by the way, I actually there was one part in the show where she goes in and they asked him like, "Are they going to win the Super Bowl?" And she goes, "Do you see that man?" That was a cool moment. I like that. I like a nice wife that backs his man like that. That was really cool.
Oh, they are very gooey over each other in public and in their comments, which is good. Good for them. That's awesome. But how focused is Josh Allen on being?
Oh, I'm not. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not worried about Josh Allen. That he does not interview as he plays, or he does not reflect how he plays in his interviews. He's very campy, very goofy, but when he plays, man, he's a monster out there. And that alone, I mean, that's the good thing of Hard Knocks. At least we got some more Josh Allen because he is very entertaining to watch out there. But we're talking about weddings and stuff, and I'm sitting there going, God, it was just a couple years ago. Dan Campbell talked about how you need to drag your NFL opponent out to the deep and drown them and the music started flaring up and it started getting all amped up. I wanted to run through a wall getting ready for a football season. And this year we're talking about weddings and how's Josh Allen doing?
Peak, pinnacle Hard Knocks, I think. Not the best Hard Knocks season, but I think the peak of the Hard Knocks curve is the Lions season.
Oh, it was so good.
And then we got the Aaron Rodgers love brofest hell. And now we got the Bills. And hey, this is great because we focus on AFC and NFC East news. So this gives us insight into the presumed AFC East champion, which is awesome. But also, as we talked about, this is a change in format for Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be if you made the playoffs, you didn't have to be on it. But early Hard Knocks seasons, the biggest highlight, because human beings love to watch car crashes, was the cuts episodes
Mm-hmm.
and being in the room when the cuts happened. Well, the players negotiated that out of Hard Knocks. That stuff's not in there anymore. And then we saw Dan Campbell and company still. That was great.
Oh, I loved it.
But the Aaron Rodgers love fest was gross and terrible. And I don't think the ratings were that good.
No.
And so they're trying something new. Since they're like, okay, if we can't have a desperate team on the up and up with players trying to make the team, let's put a winning team out there. Granted, there's still like the Giants offseason Hard Knocks when that meeting came out with their decision about Saquon versus Daniel Jones. Oh my goodness.
That was really awkward.
Gold mines are still there because there's still executives that can be stupid.
Yeah, and I'm shocked that the New York Giants executive actually kept his job after something like that. I just think, that is not a good look.
And neither of those players is a Giant anymore.
No, neither one of them. They ended up both failing. But this season, though, it started off slow. I'm going to start with that. But you mentioned this early before the show that, this is typical Hard Knocks. The first episode is just more fluff than anything else. But I got to tell you, did you see the Dion Dawkins, the left tackle, and the drifting thing? That was kind of cool. Left tackle in a drifting league? Yeah, he's out there driving a car and drifting it and competing in a league, which as a general manager, I'd be losing my mind.
I can't. Well, I have a feeling that sort of thing is going to end up in contracts. And it's not in contracts right now because they're like, what is this, Fast and Furious 3? Like, what's going on?
And the most bizarre thing on the show was the fact that he actually had his kids on there, which as a kid, I remember my dad, anytime he drove fast or anything like that, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. But and he brought his kids on to show them how to do it. I guess it's safe because it's on a track,
and it's drifting. So if they spin out, they spin out. They're not. I don't think they're going all that fast. Like, yeah, it'll not be fun to hit a wall, but it's not like you're hitting a wall going 200 in a NASCAR car.
Yeah. It should be a little bit safer being on the track, but it was kind of cool. I mean, it's just a big old left tackle, and he's out there
squeezing into a car.
Yeah. The other scene that I really liked was when Josh Allen was he was nerding it up with a bunch of players, and I forgot what exactly he was talking about, but that was a funny segment too because he just started talking about numbers and things like that, and that was interesting. Trey White is actually going back to the Buffalo Bills, which is really cool. It seems like it was a good fit. It didn't work out for him over in the Ravens. It didn't work out with them in the Rams. So for him to come back was really neat. And they showed him running up the hill 10 times or 20 times. I forgot how many times he did it. And his wife was watching, which was really cool to get him back in the league. And then immediately showed him an older guy eating ice cream and selling ice cream products.
Product placement.
What are you doing, Trey? Like, come on, man.
He doesn't have his starting gig wrapped up. He's competing with a rookie to be the starter. He's competing with Hairston to be the starting corner. So I don't know. He's making sure he's got all his. He's creating a brand.
Yeah, and it was really cool, I guess, to create a band. But I'm thinking in my back of my head, I'm going, dude, we're about to start the season. You're eating ice cream and stuff, and you're doing it on Hard Knocks. So like, I get it. I'm sure they have treats behind the scenes all the time. But I'm like, dang, you're even putting it on the show. This doesn't look good. He seems like a fun guy, though. I will say that.
Yeah. One thing I want to add, I really am enjoying the fact that the Bills still kind of have that old school training camp. They're at a college, a small college, St. John Fisher University. For me, I don't know about you and your Cowboys training camp experiences as a kid, but for me, for the New England Patriots, every summer we would go out and we would watch the Patriots have their training camp at a small college in Smithfield, Rhode Island. You'd be right on the field. You'd watch what was happening. You'd see it all bounce around, free to show up. Then we'd go as kids. We'd go and we'd hop on the line. And as all the players walked back to the dorms or walked back to the dining hall, you get your stuff signed. I got to talk to Drew Bledsoe briefly that way. Adam Vinatieri, I've got a bunch of stuff signed by him. One of my favorite things me and my brother loved, Sean Morey, who ended up having a decent career as a special teamer ultimately with the Cardinals and the Steelers. He was in Pat's camp for a little bit early on in his career. We love that because we grew up going to Brown football games, and he was a star wide receiver at Brown. So one of my favorite memories is he's walking down the line. No one's calling out to him. We're like, Sean Morey over here. And he's like, what? We're like, we love watching you at Brown winning the Ivy title. And he goes, I got fans, and he signs all our stuff. I still got that pennant somewhere. So, like,
Cool.
Those are the things growing up that made me love NFL football, made me love training camp. Now the Pats practice in their giant, big industrial, look how amazing we are thing, and it's not all open to practice and blah, blah, blah. So I miss stuff like that. So seeing teams like the Bills still doing it that way,
Yeah.
gives me some hope.
Yeah, and that was actually another point that I had over there was the fact that they were over in dorm rooms. I'm sitting there going, heck yes, that's the way it should be. They've got a nice hotel over in Oxnard over for the Dallas Cowboys. Of course they do,
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys, where does that Texas team go? They go to California for training camp.
Yeah, and could you imagine Jimmy Johnson thinking about it, the fact that they're going to California to dodge the heat?
Bro, Hank Hill is furious somewhere.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely furious over there. And I always think, hey, man, you have the heat. That's an advantage. You can, like, seriously, I get it. We're all about player safety and all that. Jerry doesn't hurt.
So bad right now.
Hey, look, I'm telling you, if you practice in the heat, I'm a big believer in this. If you practice in the heat, when you play in 70-degree domes, you will perform better. It's like golf, too. Do you notice, like, when you come back from fall, you're playing awesome because you're playing in decent weather, and you're just like, well, this is nothing. I could play this all day.
But I got to ask this. When the Cowboys are in Oxnard, when they're taking snaps on offense or defense, is there some assistants in the background shining bright lights in their eyes so they can be ready for playing home games in the afternoon?
I am so glad you brought this up because this is part of the thing that I'm actually very irritated about when I watch this Hard Knocks episode. So if you guys don't know, the Bills are getting a new stadium, okay? They're getting a nice one, all right? And this
not a dome, I don't think. I think it's still...
Rob, they did it perfect. The owner, I'm going to pronounce wrong, Pelagura.
Yeah.
Pelagura.
I can't pronounce it, but yes, you're talking about the right owner.
Dude, this guy starts talking about the stadium, and I'm sitting there going, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. He wanted to build this thing as tall as possible. He wanted that thing where the fans make a presence. He built a little shade thing, which obviously is good for the fans. Let's not deny that. They need their shade. But really what it does is amp up the sound into the stadium. Okay. Yep. Then he starts talking about the win factor. He goes, part of the problem over in Buffalo, and we all know this, if you play over at Ralph I'm forgetting the name. The old, the Bills Stadium. They have a win factor that, especially in the wintertime, god awful, man. It's hard to throw a football in that, and it takes like a guy like Josh Allen who has a strong arm to get past it. And he built the stadium to block out all the wind so it doesn't become a factor. And I'm sitting there listening to this guy. He adds another thing. He's like, they were talking about a beer garden being built. And he goes, the objective is to get the fans to drink the beer. That is the goal. We are trying to beer garden this thing up so they get the best beer, get them all lubed up, and get these fans going.
I bet they're going to have decent prices for their beers because of how blue collar that town is. I would not be surprised if when this stadium opens, they go with the Falcons model.
I hope he does. I hope he does because it's a real cool thing what he's doing over there. These new stadiums are usually gigantic. They usually back up too far. The sound is terrible if you go to the Cowboys Stadium, which is a beautiful stadium. But it does not have the volume that goes on. You hear it on TV. It's not shocking at all that Cowboy fans are loud. I promise you we're loud, but you don't even get to hear it because it's so cavernous in that stadium.
Jerry wanted the sight lines and the beauty and the sun glaring in his players' eyes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I got Jerry Jones who won't even shut a curtain that he's got in the stadium. We all know this. If you go to a concert over in Cowboys Stadium, they could shut it. And I'd want that to be understood.
They always do.
Yeah. I want that to be understood because if you're not a Cowboys fan, a lot of people don't know this. They've got it. Don't let Jerry fool you that he can't just shut the curtains. He's got curtains. He could shut it. He doesn't want to because, and I will admit, it does look cool on TV, but that's not what it's about. I just want my football team to play in a football stadium.
Be able to see the football.
Yeah. And they're playing north and south, which makes no sense over there. No, east and west, I'm sorry, with the sun. I'm going, this guy gets it when it comes to building a new football stadium. And I got Jerry over here doing what he does, and it's just driving me freaking mad. I got so mad when I saw it because it's really cool for the Bills. But I'm sitting there going, everything that I have a problem with the new Cowboys Stadium, that guy just said, we're doing the opposite. We're going to make it loud. We're going to try to take out the outside factors. We're going to get them all lubed up. I don't know about cheap beer, but we're going to make beer very available to everyone in that stadium because we know the Bills Mafia. We know what they want. We're going to get them loud. That's the goal.
There is nothing more American. There is nothing more exciting in a live sport venue than being in a football stadium, a major D1 stadium or an NFL stadium with 65 to 100,000 of your closest friends, close in, packed up, high, yelling, screaming in on every single play.
Love it. And then they also have that bit on the third quarter with Mr. Brightside that the fans all gather around. If you don't know it, they all gather around. And on the third quarter, at the beginning of the second half, they just sing Mr. Brightside, which is a very fitting song for the Bills. You got to look on the bright side because they've had a struggling franchise for so long. But everything about the Bills is like what I want in my football team. And the best I got is Des Bryant arguing with Nicki Minaj. That's the best I got.
Well, don't forget about CD Lamb trying to kill the official either.
Oh, sorry.
Did you hear that? CD Lamb taking out the official in the game?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to actually mention that in the news, but yeah, the official took out CD Lamb as well. So we got that news going. Thanks, CD. By the way, good on the coaching staff. You couldn't even keep the line guy back there. I don't know. I'm not excited about the Cowboys season at all. And the Hard Knocks episode just made me want to throw my phone to the TV because I'm sitting there going, this guy gets it. Why are we not like this?
All right. So we're hearing it here first. We just got to keep working on Nick, soon to be the newest fan of the Buffalo Bills.
I ain't doing it. I'm going to stick to my Dallas Cowboys because that's where I was born. I'm a homer, and they didn't trade away Luka Doncic. So right now, that is my team. And Brownie points goes to Jerry for at least not doing that. And I don't think he's going to do it for Micah, whether Micah wants to or not. So at least we got that going for you. Jerry knows where the money's at, where the players are, and he's going to take care of that end. But I'm going to rope it. All these news segments, I'm just going to rope it back to how I'm mad about the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to just be my life.
All good. It's all good. And I mean, once the season really gets going, I'm just going to either be all the way up here with the Pats, or I'm just going to be like in depths of despair. So,
Yeah, it's just the nature of the business. But I think that's all we got for you now. And Rob, I'm so glad you're back for this alone. Plug up the show, man. I did a terrible job.
yeah, I'm so happy to be back. I really, like I said, you held it down great. So did Tyler. But very happy to have to be back, be talking football. We're looking ahead to some good stuff. So coming up this week, we mentioned it earlier already. The Packers are traveling to the Colts for the next preseason game. So the big thing to watch there is the quarterback battle. The Patriots are going to be going to Minnesota to play the Vikings. So, we're going to keep looking for that growth. But then on the other side, it'll be fun to see how J.J. McCarthy does, because even though he's going to be the starter, they do have him playing a little bit since he missed a whole season.
Mhm.
He looked good last week. So we'll see how the Pats rise up against him.
I've always liked J.J. McCarthy.
And then, the Cowboys and that beautiful stadium will be hosting the Ravens. So
It should be, I don't know. The Ravens actually take preseason seriously. That's the funny part. Are they on a winning record? Did they finally lose last year?
Yeah, they dropped some last year finally, but yeah, they take it seriously and they have good results for it. So yeah, we'll be breaking down what we saw for those three teams in those games, along with the other news around the East in our Eastside news, and of course, we'll be talking more Hard Knocks.
Yeah, another episode. And by the way, if you guys are wondering, we were catching up on episode 1. I know they just released episode 2 this week, but we'll talk about episode 2 next week on next week's podcast.
We will.
Yeah. And then plugging up the show, Rob.
Yeah, our subscriber base is growing. We love it. Keep on growing. If you're watching us on YouTube, just make sure to hit like, just make sure to hit subscribe, and then go ahead and forward that over. Send that link over to one of your friends for sure. And then, of course, we are also on Instagram at Nick and Rob Homer Hour at Instagram. Again, follow us there, like some of our posts there. And soon to be coming to more social media platforms near you to be announced.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to be starting expanding a little bit. And the next goal, too, is I've just recently got a Spotify account. So we're going to be on Spotify. I'm going to get YouTube music, the podcast version of YouTube. We're going to get posted on there. I have to figure out Apple. Got a little ways to go there, but we're going to try to get on Apple Podcasts as well.
We're growing. We're excited. And we're full speed ahead in football season. It's a great time.
Yeah, can't wait till it starts, and we'll see you guys next time.